What is up, YouTube? It has been a long time. The last time I checked, I saw the last post I made was 9 months ago. And I think I'm back for good, even though I've said that like twice now. But today's the first video back officially. We're going to be doing a workout, and specifically to be focusing on back day. So we're going to do back day. We're going to start with pull-ups. But before we get into the workout, I want to talk about like why I've been not posting on YouTube. It's because specifically I haven't been able to squat, and my hips have shifted. I've lost maybe like 8 to 10 pounds, mainly my legs. So for the longest time I haven't been able to be my best version of myself, at least in the gym. And for those of you that have been following me on Instagram and on YouTube, you guys know previously I was squatting 2 to 3 times a week. It was a big part of my workout routine. So I felt like I couldn't like be my best. I feel like I wasn't my best. And I'm like, you know what? I can't do what I did before, so I'm not going to post these YouTube videos, which now I've realized I've kind of had like an epiphany. It's not so much about like me being able to be my strongest all the time, because that's not realistic. No one's their strongest all the time. No one's the most shredded all the time. No one's perfect all the time, which I'm not right now. I'm 8 to 10 pounds lighter than I was over half a year ago, 9 months ago. But these videos moving forward, I'm going to show you the workouts that I've been doing to get back to where I want to get to, and realigning my hips, doing corrective exercises, but also the stuff I can do. So I guess there's no specific videos that I'm going to shoot moving forward. I'm open to whatever you guys want, whether it's like track workouts, football workouts, some car stuff, more calisthenic stuff, powerlifting stuff. So whatever you guys want, I'm down to do. It's because I have been stagnant on my training, so I'm down for whatever you guys are down for. Dennis is with me here today. We're kind of like discussing what we want to work out. So we've kind of decided we're going to start with back today and see where it leads us. So we're going to do a back workout today. It's good to be back, and I appreciate you, any of you that are watching this video now, because you're probably not getting the notification, but you're here and you're watching, so I appreciate it. Nonetheless, let's start this workout. Okay, so the first set of exercises, or it's not it is an exercise, but these are going to be our few sets of warming up. I think in the past you guys have seen me do Scapula Push-Ups, which these are Scapula Push-Ups, but we're going to go through a different variety of Scapula Push-Ups to warm up my back, but also my core. And this is something that I've done to help the variations I do to help realign my hip, because my hips have shifted so much over time, like I said before earlier in the video, to a point to where I couldn't squat. And it's because I've realized over time I wasn't doing these things I'm doing now to make my hips shift back, to realign my body naturally. You know, I was doing less running, I was doing less unilateral work, you know, single leg, single arm stuff, and I was squatting a lot. So I was getting stronger in a certain plane of movement, but also creating more imbalances in my body. So over time, it shifted and made my hip shift, and honestly, it made my legs uneven, and my hips uneven, and my back uneven. So, and that's just due to wear and tear over time, but also, you know, driving in a car, gas and brake with the right foot. You know, I realized when I was growing up, I was doing long jump. It was all off the left foot, coming up here like this since freshman year in high school, all the way throughout college. So all those years of doing that, playing football, always braking on the left side of my foot. So really over 10 years creating this imbalance for me to not be how I should be in the gym. And now I realize that like I gotta be doing all this other stuff, which I'm gonna be showing you guys. So let's get to it. Scapula push-ups, it's warming up my scap, warming up my core, but it's also, when I'm doing the single leg one, single leg, single arm one, it's working on my cross patterns, balancing out my body, but also making my hips shift to where they're supposed to. Because I'm doing things to be able to like engage my core and let that happen. Where before I'd kind of just maybe do jump rope or do a few sets of push-ups and then get right into my workouts, where now I'm trying to re-pattern myself, so to speak, so I could be more aligned for my workout. Okay, next exercise we're gonna do to warm up. We did the scap push-ups, we're gonna do, these are half kneeling windmills, and then we're gonna do some other things before we get into the actual workout. This is just the warm up. But the half kneeling windmill is something that I've used to be able to sit back into certain points of my hip to be able to realign my hips. So everything that I've been doing lately is to realign my hips and my back so I could press evenly, I could squat evenly, and just even walk evenly. So, like, there's been a point to where, like, when I'm running, I feel one leg is longer than the other just due to the imbalances that I've created for myself. And I have no one to blame but myself, but now I'm aware of it because I got to a certain point to where, like, I can't do these things, so it made me like shift and be like, I have to change my workouts, I have to learn new movements, and I have to get back to where I was. And in order for that to happen, I needed to do things that I wasn't doing before. Because, you know, if I'm just gonna keep squatting and keep doing the same movements and expect myself to get better, that's like the definition of insanity. So I have to kind of reverse engineer everything and allow myself to learn new movements and like humble myself to where like the movements I'm doing, I'm like, wow, I'm not good at these. So half kneeling windmill, let's do it. All right, the last piece of, the last movement we're gonna do as a warm-up before we get into the working sets is a bottoms-up kettlebell shoulder press. And bottoms-up it just means that you're flipping the kettlebell instead of pressing it up right here. You're flipping it upside down and you're holding it like this. Once you do that, it changes the whole movement up, and it requires your body to utilize a lot more stability muscles to where like you can't just press it. You have to like be very focused and controlled like this. And I just had Dennis try this, and he could do it easily like this, up, but once we flipped it upside down, it made the movement way harder for him, and he's like, wow, this is different. So if you've never done it, try it as a warm-up, because it'll wake up all the muscles in your nervous system and the muscles that you're not using before you get into like a bench press or push-up or dumbbell press. So we're going to do a few sets of this and then get into the workout. So it's crazy, when I first started doing the bottoms up presses, I was really bad. My right side was okay, and then I realized my left side was literally 50% as strong. So I'm like, all right, I gotta start working on my left side more, engaging my scapula more on my left side and doing more on my left side. So that's what I've been doing, and honestly, it's been helping me out the past couple months, and it's been, I've been able to rebalance a lot of my imbalances. All right, first exercise we're gonna do is it's like we have the warm up and then we have the warm up before the next workout. So this first set of pull-ups we're gonna do, I'm just gonna do 3 sets, 10 reps. For me, that's easy. If 10 reps is hard for you, do like 5, do 3, do 7, but do a certain amount of pull-ups to be able to warm up your whole entire back and your core, and your arms and your elbows and your shoulders and your traps and everything, but not to where like it's taxing you. So I'm gonna do 10, pick a number that's not too hard for you. Second set of pull-ups, I'm about to do my 3rd set. Dennis is helping me film. We just did the warm-up. We did the kettlebell press, we did the scapula push-ups and the pull-ups. How do you feel compared to like your normal warm-up?
Very different, very differently warmed up. Everything feels a lot more engaged as far as like my core, my stabilizers, doing these different warm-ups. It's definitely different than my normal routine, so I'd say it's a plus for sure.
Humbling, right?
Yeah, very.
Yeah, because Dennis is strong. Dennis can do like, easily press 100, 110, 120 pound dumbbells, and he had a hard time doing the 25s for the kettlebells and just the other movements. So if you haven't done this, I recommend you doing it so you don't end up like me and not being able to do certain movements like squatting and stuff. So most of you honestly aren't probably gonna do this warm-up because it takes time, it's hard, but the ones that do and the ones that care and the ones that maybe, hey, you're struggling with certain movements and you can't do it, you're gonna do this. So I do it if you want to do it. If you don't want to do it, this part of the workout you'll want to do, because this is going to be the bodybuilding portion of our workout that we're getting into. So, okay, we've decided the first movement we're gonna do is gonna be dumbbell rows, and we're gonna do it unassisted. So we're not gonna put our knee on the bench, we're not gonna put our hand on the bench, we're gonna put an elbow on the other leg. We're gonna try to sit into the opposite hip, kind of like the half kneeling windmill that we're doing, but also engaging our back. So I'm gonna start with like 60 or 70, do a few reps, then one more warm-up set, and then maybe go for a heavy set and stay at that top set for a few sets. But we're gonna see how I feel in the first few warm-up sets. So I'm gonna do 100 reps, do a set of 5 to 7 again. And then the set after this will be my working set. And then I'll use my strap, but I'm gonna not use the strap yet, just to warm up my grip. And then once it gets to that point to where the weight's too heavy, to where like my grip is giving out after like the 4th, 5th, 6th rep, that's when I start using the straps. I try not using straps in my warm-up sets. Gonna be my top set, 130. I usually could go heavier if I wanted, if I was doing like assisted, but since we're not doing assisted, I'm focusing more on the contraction, I'm focusing more on the movement. So 130 should be a good weight for me to hit anywhere from 10 to 12 each side. We're gonna take a little break, and then we're gonna do a total set of 3, I'd say, for our top set, and then we'll go back down. Alright, this is going to be the last set, my 3rd set, top set. I'm going to go for 10 to 12, and then after that we'll probably do the same movement but drop it down for more controlled reps. I'm kind of using more hip right now, more controlled reps and then maybe some pause reps, but let's get this last 10 to 12. Let's go. And it's important to, when you're doing these sets, since it's heavier, I'm taking like at least a minute and a half, 2.5 minutes in between. I'm not going back to back to back, because you want your body's ATP, which is your first use of energy source, to be able to sprint and be like strong. You want that to regenerate, and that takes time to regenerate. Instead of just like doing HIIT training and getting your heart rate up, this is about getting your heart rate back down so you can then get your full 10 to 12 reps, instead of like getting back into it and maybe not only getting 6 or 7. So I've rested enough now, I'll be able to get the 10 to 12. Alright, now we're going to go back down to the weight I started at, which is 70 pounds for myself. And we're going to do 7 pause, very controlled at the top, and then 7 regular, just to get more blood into the muscle that we already tasked in the first working set of movements. Okay, we're like a third of the way through the workout. We just did all our warm-ups, and then we did a bunch of rows. Worked up to a top set, worked back down for horizontal dumbbell rows. Now we're gonna go to vertical movement, so we're gonna go to pull-ups. But not just regular pull-ups, we're gonna do weighted pull-ups for 2 sets, and then a drop set. So at this point, we're gonna still do some heavier lifting and then try to get more blood into our back. Okay, so I haven't done weighted pull-ups in a while. I'm just gonna start with 50, see how this feels. Do 5 to 10 reps, drop set, 5 to 10. And if that feels like a good weight, I'm gonna stay here. If it's too easy, I'm gonna go up to like 70 and see how. Okay, we just finished the, I can't even talk right now, I'm too tired. We just finished the weighted pull-ups. We did 3 sets, 5 to 10 reps of the weighted, and then drop set for 5 reps. So whatever you could do, whatever weight makes sense for you. If you can't do a lot of weight at all, just do like 10 or 12 pounds or 15 pounds. If you can't do weighted pull-ups, just do normal pull-ups. If you can't do normal pull-ups, do assisted. Nonetheless, get the pull-ups in. The next set of exercises we're gonna do. So we started with a horizontal roll, then we went to vertical pull. Now we're gonna go back to a seated row, so horizontal, and then we're gonna finish off a lat pull down, superset it with something else, and then that's pretty much gonna be the workout, so let's go. All right, so for the seated rows, you've probably done seated rows before, but if you haven't, give it a shot. And if you have, we're gonna do it a little bit differently. The tempo of which we're doing it, we're not just doing regular reps. So kind of like for the dumbbell rows, we're gonna do a few set of pause. But when you pause it, make sure you stick it to where the pause, you're not moving at all. You're not kind of slowing it down. So full pause, and when you come back down, try to get back to the pause movement as fast as possible. We're doing that for 5 to 7 reps, and then right into 5 to 7 reps regular, and then push-ups. Dennis is tripping right now. Well, one, he's getting a good workout, but secondly, he's like, dude, I'm getting a back pump from the push-ups, which, yes, if you're doing push-ups to focus on your chest, you can focus on your chest, but if you want to focus on your back, just focus on more scapula movement and you'll get a pump. That's why I'm doing push-ups to offset the rows and to balance out the rows, but also I'm doing it so I can get even more blood into my back, getting scapula movement so I don't become too stiff, stay mobile still, but also to finish off the row movement. How do you feel? I've honestly never felt something like that in my life. Yeah. The amount of times, like I'm good at doing push-ups in general, but switching up and retracting your scapula at the extension at the end of the movement,
totally different.
Yeah.
Especially doing higher reps.
Yeah.
Once you get to like, if you can get up to like 10, 15,
yeah,
you really start to feel your lats tighten up and like,
yeah,
you feel the blood rushing in the muscles.
But then you're doing a set to where like the top of your push-up, you're extending your arms, so you're getting full. Yeah.
You're getting full range of motion.
You're getting full range of motion. So yeah, next time you do, if you try this full workout, do this. But if you don't, at least take this little bit and try supersetting this type of push-up after your rows. It's good. Okay, last set of exercises we're gonna do is pull downs. Like I said, I like going back and forth in terms of like the type of movements we're doing. 4 back, horizontal row, then we did a pull-up, which is a vertical, and then we did the seated row, which is horizontal. Going back to a vertical now, and we're gonna do it with, we're gonna superset it with push-ups too. So just to get more scap movement. We're not necessarily trying to tax our chest. Like the way we're doing the push-ups, I don't really feel it that much in my chest. It's more in my back. So we're gonna do set at 12 to 15, and then right into push-ups. How's the lighting, guys?
It's good.
That concludes today's workout. Mainly back emphasis on back and rowing and pulling. But as you guys know, most of my workouts are full body just because the way I've been training my whole life has been more for athletics. And yes, for aesthetics, but I'd say aesthetics for me is secondary. Honestly, I can't say it's secondary. It's pretty even. I'd say it's 50-50. But I try doing full body stuff just so, especially now with my imbalances in my body like I was talking about before earlier in the video. Doing full body, unilateral stuff involving my core, these different movements, allows my body to get back to where it needs to be, which I'm working on. And this is like the next part of my YouTube journey, I guess, since I haven't posted in 9 months, is me getting back to the movements, specifically the squat movement, how I could do it before, and other stuff. So it's whatever you guys really want to see too. Other workouts, maybe outside. I might do some track workouts, some football workouts with a friend of mine that plays football, maybe some car stuff too. So comment below what you want to see in the future, or DM me. And if you haven't yet, subscribe and hit the bell button. Until next time, see you later.